So Anthony, welcome to my first, webisode about, nursing in the ER and stuff like that. Thank you for
Well,
coming.
thank you for having me.
Yeah. So listen, so people always call male nurses nurses. So what do you feel about that, being called a nurse?
Well, I guess since we're kind of like the minority, it's kind of empowering, but at the same time, a little bit sexist, because I feel like, at least in my experience in healthcare in general, I've always felt there's a different demeanor with patients, not just patients, but with other providers too. I feel like when, say, like doctors or physical therapists or other ancillary staff interact with nurses, I feel like they give men less crap than they do with women. Like they always give women a hard time, but then when it comes to a male figure, it's like, oh yeah, just go ahead and do it. And it's kind of like, but you said no to her like 2 seconds ago. Like if I was trying to get an order, the physician would give a female nurse a harder time about the order. But if I asked them for the same order, I'm like, hey doc, can I get this? And he's like, yeah, sure, Anthony. And I'm like,
Maybe he thinks you're gonna beat him up.
probably. I walk in, my, hey doc, can I get this order real quick? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, thanks.
Or they think you're gonna go, hiya!
Probably.
Yeah, I noticed like it's kind of like sometimes it could be like a sexist environment, and I've seen that too. Like male nurses, I guess because men are more like intimidating, kind of. So like a man to man is like you're kind of like on a different level, but when it's man to woman, a man kind of feels in society like there's like a little hierarchy, like men are like more superior. So I guess some people just feed off of that, like, yeah, I'm a man and you're a woman, but they won't give you that type of crap.
Right.
So yeah, I hear that. What do you like? How was your process? Like, tell me a little bit about your background, like where your family's from, and.
So my parents are both from Vietnam. They immigrated here after the war, obviously like everybody else to find a better life. But my parents divorced when I was young, so growing up was very challenging. So I saved up some cash, whatever cash I could make off of $9 an hour and $1,000 rent. I scrounged together what I could, paid for some prerequisites, and then started nursing school. Luckily, the degree I got had already had like 80% of the prereqs, so I just took like 1 or 2 more classes. And I still kept in touch with my mother, and she's like, yo, just come home, I'll give you a room, and you can go to nursing school. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Moving back with mom.
Yeah, but it was worth it. Now, I don't live with her, she lives with me. So
Yeah, that's what all guys say.
I take care of her mortgage, I take care of her car, I buy the groceries.
Aw, you're a good son.
Not really. She still buys groceries and she still cooks for me.
Are you
That's cool.
single? Are you married?
I'm single.
Do you have kids?
No kids.
Your car is your kid.
Yes.
Your Mustang.
My car is my everything. My baby, my wife, maybe my mom too. In certain cases.
So you you look like you're happy with the decision you made. Do you feel good about the decision you made, like in the field that you're in?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely rewarding. Nursing, like any job, has its ups and downs. You're gonna have days where you're gonna be swearing off like a sailor, but then at the end of the day, you come home and you're like, you know what, I did good today. I got to save lives and I'm getting paid for it.
Cool. So can you tell us like any like crazy experience or anything like that kind of, with the ER you have crazy experiences every day, but anything like recently that, stands out that.
Yeah, actually, my last shift, we had a guy came in, he was down, brought him by fire rescue, they didn't have a pulse, but they got him back, they had a pulse, and he was a young cat in his 50s, and when we came in, we put him on the monitor, and we saw his rhythm, and the doctor was like, oh man, that's a shockable rhythm. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll crank up the defibrillator. We shocked him, and we started doing CPR, and then we thought we had a pulse, and it was just back and forth, and it got to the point where the doctor's like, just keep shocking him. And we're like, well, okay, shock, do it again, shock, do it again, shock. I'm like, am I on TV? Where's the camera at? I'm just shocking this guy multiple times, and then in between all those shocks, I was like, give him magnesium, give him lidocaine, give him dopamine, give him this. And I'm like, I'm drawing the medications, and I'm like, are we gonna shock him too? I'm using my elbow to like shock him while drawing up the medications. I felt like I was like super nurse at that one moment, just rapid fire giving him every drug we had. And we finally got him back. Like we got a pulse and we stabilized him. We got him to the ICU, and his wife was there and she saw the entire thing and she was very grateful.
Yeah, to save a life. I guess sometimes people don't understand. For us, as far as like people that get like they like to go on roller coasters and ride motorcycles and jump out of planes. Adrenaline junkies, like in the ER, that's your adrenaline. When you get to save a life, when you're in that code, when you're doing CPR and you get ROSC, like that's our adrenaline. And I really commend you for that. I know you've been through a lot of struggles, especially where your parents come from and everything like that. People think like it's just, all nurses come from, good cookie cutter homes and, we're all, like this, and it's not. Like we all come from a lot of struggle and backgrounds and stuff. Do you have any advice for any like other male nurses that want to get into the field? And
just do it. Like if you have to ask, then maybe you shouldn't. But if you want to do it, just go for it. Only you know what's best for you, and you're gonna find that people are gonna tell you how to live your life. But in the end, you're the one who's going to go to school and make the money. You're gonna be the one who's paying the bills. So just do it.
Do you get hit on a lot in the ER?
Not as much as I'd like, but when it does happen, I always get caught flat-footed, and I'm just like, oh. And then I get really awkward about it, and I'm like, well, here's your aspirin, bye. And that's the end of that encounter. So.
Well, you just turn them down?
I get really, yeah.
You get shy?
I get shy. I guess I should have said something. Uh-oh.
So tell everybody again, what's your Instagram? So, all the single ladies?
It's Anthony Winwin, WINWIN. That's it.
Okay, cool. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right.